What? Oh, it's okay. I just have a headache. I'll put this away for now. Hello there, my friends. This is Craig, and welcome to my channel, The Atheist Experiment. Did you know the cure for cancer is maple syrup and baking soda? Yeah, I just found this out recently. Someone commented on my last video and told me all about it. Now, this person hasn't told me yet how to apply it. Am I supposed to eat it? Am I supposed to rub it on my body somewhere? Should I inject it somehow? I don't know, but it seems so simple now. If only modern medicine knew about this, millions of lives could be saved. I need to know more. So, okay, I'm being a bit facetious here, and I'm trying to make a point. I don't know if any of you read the comments on my channel, but there's a guy who keeps commenting, and I have tried in the past to communicate with him, but he seems to just want to use all caps and dozens of exclamation marks and repeatedly call me stupid. You know who you are, and I have given you several chances to chat with me in a respectful way, but you just keep yelling at me, figuratively speaking. Talk to me, man. How many more chances do I need to give you? This is your opportunity to try something different. Now, some of you may wonder, why am I spending so much time on this troll? I guess I feel like maybe I can get through to this person, and if I can change one person's approach to how they disagree with others, then I've done something to make the internet a better place. Where people can have true discourse and not just view anyone with a different viewpoint as your enemy. How can we ever progress as a society if we don't engage each other in meaningful ways? Instead of making assumptions about others, why not try to learn a little bit about them and what makes them tick and why they believe what they do? We can't just keep attacking each other. We must learn to communicate effectively with each other. You can't make a judgment about someone until you get to know them a bit. I may have bad viewpoints myself, but if someone pointed it out to me, I might be willing to reconsider them. And if you're not willing to reconsider, or at least reflect on your own beliefs, then discourse is dead for you. So I lashed out at this person in my last thread of comments, and I was trying to be smug and funny, but I broke my own code of ethics regarding this, and I hope I can do better next time. I'm just a guy like you, and I'm doing my best to try and leave this world a little better off than when I found it. But I fail sometimes because I'm only a fallible human being. So Christmas is upon us, and along with cheer and joy, often comes stress and depression for a lot of people. You know, trying to please everyone, not being sure if you can afford to give people that you love everything you want to give them. And I know we all say that it's not about how many gifts you give or how much money you spend, but the reality is that stress of spending money is really there for people, and it can be overwhelming. For many, Christmas is a difficult time of year. It gets especially difficult when the obligations begin to pile up and uber cheerful people just keep piling on more and more stuff that you feel compelled to keep up to so you don't become a social outcast. It can be very difficult to say no to all the nonsense. So somebody I know was in a friendly group chat with me and started to talk about how their work was making them feel coerced to participate in Christmas celebrations, with every day being a new and different method to celebrate. like ugly sweaters and that kind of thing. You know, every day was some different little thing that they had to do, and it just becomes a lot. Not only does this stuff take time, but it takes money. But that wasn't really the issue for them. They actually enjoy many aspects of Christmas, even though they are not Christian. Like many of us, Christmas has just become a time to celebrate family and friends and being together. But this year, because of COVID-19, things are much different. So all of these requests to participate in Christmas shenanigans at work started to become a problem when this person didn't have the supplies to be able to participate. They said they were trying their best not to go to stores for non-necessities for these items. Again, due to COVID-19. You know, something we should all be striving for is to not leave our houses unless it's a necessity. They were then shamed by their colleagues, and they began calling them a party pooper. Just go to the store and get what you need, they would say. This went on for a couple of weeks until it finally became too much for them. And at a meeting, when they were being shamed once again, they blew up and exclaimed to the others how unfairly they feel like they've been treated. By not going shopping for non-necessities, they were doing their part to protect their family and friends from contracting the disease, and they were also keeping their colleagues safe. And that they should all be doing the same and stop shaming them. Fortunately, they all realized what they had been doing to them, and they apologized. Now, they were telling us this story on Zoom, and I haven't gotten to the point yet. And lots of people were giving advice and trying to sympathize with them. And one person spoke up and said, hey, why don't you just play the Jewish card? Then you don't have to participate in any of the Christmas stuff that you don't want to. Everyone quickly agreed who was in the chat room, but I thought to myself, you know, they shouldn't have to. Why not play the atheist card? Why is it so taboo just to say you are an atheist? I am an atheist. And you choose, or I choose, not to be part of these Christian holiday activities. It just strikes me that if you don't want to do something Christian, you just have to play the Jew card or some other religion. Why does it always have to come down to being some other religion? If you're an atheist, why can't you just say you're an atheist? This really bothers me. There is something really wrong when you can't just admit you're an atheist without there being some negative stigma attached to it, as if you can't be a good person unless you are affiliated with some sort of religion. Show me how many crimes against humanity have been committed in the name of religion. More than can even be mentioned here. Now show me show me how many crimes have been committed in the name of atheism. I dare say it's close to none. So that's something to think about. We're so afraid to admit that we're atheists in groups, you know, where there's lots of different religions around. You know, why do we feel that way? You know, it's upsetting sometimes, you know, and I'm even been guilty of it myself when I had an opportunity to say I was an atheist and I didn't, because I didn't know what the repercussions would be, or I didn't want to be outed or outcast. It's being part of the group, you know. So for anyone who is listening to this, when someone says they're an atheist, it doesn't mean that because they're not affiliated with a religion that they're not a good person. Just try to remember that. This next subject, I used to find perplexing, but after studying it, I understand it better now. It's the idea of Christians teaching their children to believe in Santa Claus. I think, and this is just my own observation, indoctrination, beginning at birth, primes a person to be susceptible to all kinds of belief systems, including Santa Claus. And I think that translates into not pursuing truth. When you've been primed to believe fiction as reality, it leads to thinking you always have the answers to all questions, instead of sometimes admitting you don't know. I think this is a fundamental issue with religion. A religious person can't ever say that they don't know, whereas a critical thinker is able to say that they don't know when they are asked a question that they can't answer. Religious people then make the mistake of using that against the atheist by saying, "Aha, you don't know anything." Then they continue by claiming that they know the answers to all the important questions because their God has given them all the answers in his book, which we all know the book is nothing more than a fabrication by man and cannot answer any questions about reality or the supernatural, because it cannot be used as evidence to back up any claims. Any more than the Harry Potter books can be used as evidence to back up any claims of reality. In science and rational thought, admitting you don't know is very common, because it would be very arrogant to think we have discovered all that can be discovered. Of course there are things we don't know. Science is really in its infancy. But this seems to be a problem for the religious. How can you debate someone if you don't have the answers to some fundamental questions? But I'm here to say that just because you don't understand how things work doesn't mean you can just jump to God. If you do this, you will find that as the knowledge of science increases, the space left for God will be an ever receding gap that will eventually leave no room left for God as science discovers more and more about our vast universe. This is also known as the God of the gaps fallacy. Every time science can't explain something, science says, "I don't know at this time." Yet religious people say, "Oh, it must be God who knows the answer." Even Sir Isaac Newton, one of the most profound scientists of all time, happy birthday, by the way, on December 25th. He who explained gravity and the motion of all the planets became perplexed by the retrograde or the wobble of some of the planets. Even he said that God must intervene to fix the parts that I can't figure out. I'm paraphrasing, of course. That's not his exact quote. But a few centuries later, we figured it out, and God was no longer needed. It's okay to say, "I don't know." My daughter mentioned to me the other day her thoughts on the fairness of Christians hogging all the holidays of the year, leaving no room for other religions to celebrate their holidays. She asked me, "Why do we get 2 weeks off for one religious holiday at Christmas? What about other religious people that don't get to celebrate their holidays the same way that Christians do?" I told her that it was a very good question, and it is really unfair, and I don't know the answer. I asked her what the solution to such a problem might be. She said that Christians should get 1 day off, and the rest of the days should be spread out to give the others a chance to celebrate their religious holidays. We had a very good, lengthy discussion about it, and I found it very insightful coming from a 15-year-old. I'm very proud of her. So, I know I sound very cynical when I speak this way about Christmas, but I'm not trying to ruin anybody's holiday. I'm just trying to bring another bit of insight to other aspects of the season. I love Christmas. It's a fun time of year for me, and I enjoy the traditions that have been part of my life for as long as I can remember. I just celebrate it more from a secular point of view now. And I also try to remember the pagans who had their traditions hijacked many years ago. Many years ago. Well, I still have a bit of a headache, so I'm going to go take my peanut butter and kiwi and try to come up with a cure. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all the best to all other religions that may be trying to fit in their festivities too. Stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, and don't have any large gatherings. Peace be with you.
Hey there, my friends. If you enjoy my videos and you would like to see more, subscribe. And don't forget to scroll down and hit the little bell so you can get notifications. I will be putting out a video every Sunday evening, and if you like it, hit the like button. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button. Also, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Catch you next time, and have a great week.